I have a special guest for you today. I think this is awesome because it's going to give you a great perspective that you can't get elsewhere. Dr. Salman Ahmad is with us today. He's a Pakistani-American physician. He's a filmmaker, a humanitarian, a musician. He founded South Asia's biggest rock band, Junoon, and has also been a UN Goodwill Ambassador on HIV, AIDS, COVID-19, and polio eradication. He is the author of the book, Rock and Roll Jihad, as well as a close aide to former Pakistani Prime Minister and former cricket friend, Minister Imran Khan. Ladies and gentlemen, Salman Ahmad is with us. How you doing today, Salman?
I'm doing good, Pasta. How are you doing? Is it okay if I call you Pasta or Craig?
Everybody keeps saying that. You call me Pasta, you call me Craig, you call me Meatball, you can call me Tubby. I don't care. Call me whatever you want. You know me.
Okay, Pasta. Yeah, it's good.
So let's
call me Sal.
Sal. All right, we'll call Sal. All right, Sal. Let's talk about this.
Okay.
Because I think a lot of people are fixated on the point that it was justified in removing Minister Khan because he went to Russia the day they invaded Ukraine. I feel that there's something more than just him going to Russia. I think that might have been the straw that broke the camel's back. But in your personal opinion, why is he perceived so much as a threat to the West? Why did they really remove him?
So, great question. And for me to answer that accurately, I need to give you a little backstory.
Please.
So, what's been happening when Prime Minister Imran Khan became the Prime Minister, that was 2018, okay? It was August 2018. The army chief, now for people who don't know about Pakistan, the army chief in Pakistan is the super king, okay? He's the monarch. Whatever he says goes. The the super king of that time was General Bajwa, and General Bajwa needed Imran Khan to sign off on his extension, okay? Each super king gets 3 years by the constitution, unless and until the prime minister signs off on an extension, which is another 3 years. So he was Mr. Nice Guy to Prime Minister Imran Khan. You remember that Imran Khan came to America in 2019. He met with President Trump. He went to the United Nations. He made a speech which was lauded. Millions of people saw it. It's on YouTube. So now, up till that point, the super king was Mr. Nice to the prime minister. But the biggest blunder that Prime Minister Imran Khan made, which he confesses himself, is that he signed on the super king's extension. And why did he do that? Because he said, look, you need continuity. Afghanistan needs, there's a lot of chaos in Afghanistan. And so you need to sign on my thing. I'll be able to help you. And he was working with the super king. Imran Khan was working with the super king. Little did he know that what the super king was doing was throwing his own prime minister under the bus, telling the United States that Imran Khan is anti-American. So as soon as the Biden administration came in 2020, they were already fed. Just think about this. Your own army chief is telling the Americans, don't trust Imran Khan. Don't trust my prime minister because he's anti. His plan, Pasta, was to tell America that this guy is no good for you, topple him, and bring in a puppet government, which they did later on. In April 9th, 2022, he brought his puppet government in, but he was unable to do that at that time because what happened in 2020? The pandemic came in. COVID-19 came in, and that spoiled his plans. But during all that time, 2020, 2021, 2022, he was telling the American administration, don't trust Imran Khan. And finally, because you saw the cipher now, which is, released, this was fed for a long time. It wasn't just, the US just woke up one day and said, well, this guy's no good for us.
Yeah. So what I want to ask right now, do you think, though, I mean, obviously we have him working behind the scenes. We have somebody pushing him to get out. And it's been a history where the military has removed every single prime minister that's ever been in office. Has a prime minister ever finished as one term there ever? I mean, I don't even know. But what I want to kind of talk about is really quickly is it the fact that Imran Khan had some type of decent relationship with Donald Trump that also kind of was a nudge to the Biden administration? Because we saw this in Brazil, where, you know, Victoria Nuland showed up as Lula was coming out because Bolsonaro was very close with Trump. And it seems to be from this administration of the United States that if you're friends of Trump, you're an enemy to this administration. Do you think it had something to do with that? Because we just saw with Imran Khan in the interview with Julian Assange, he said he had a pretty decent relationship with Donald Trump. Was there something there with that?
So Pastor, the truth be told, to allude to the first part of your question, which is that what is the Super King Army Chief position? You see, it's a structural defect in Pakistani power, because that one guy, whoever it is, it could be Bajwa, it could be Musharraf, it could be General Zia, it could be Ayub back in the 60s. Whatever they saw, there's no democracy in the army, okay? Whatever the army chief says goes. Now, throughout 75 years, you might have puppets in front, you know, as civilian leadership, but who were pulling the strings was the army chief, always. So in 75 years, General Zia was in power for 11 years. General Musharraf was in power for 9 years. And all of these puppets actually show that they're, you know, that this is the prime minister and that's the foreign minister. No way. It's the guy who's saying, you're going to do this and you're going to do that. How was Imran Khan different? Okay. Imran Khan was his own man. He said, look, you're my army chief and I want to work with the Pakistan army because Pakistan needs a strong defense. But he wanted, the Super King wanted his own chief ministers in power to do his corrupt bidding, and Imran Khan refused him, okay? And when he sort of said that, look, things are going to get bad for you, Imran Khan said, look, man, we have to defend Pakistan, and I need for you to let me do my job. You can't make me prime minister, then not give me the responsibility. So this was the big, you know, conflict between the Super King and Imran Khan.
Did you? Yeah, Kurt has a question here.
Salman, do you think some of part of the problem could be that there's a title of Super King?
Yeah.
Like just King would be pretty strong.
No, Super King.
Yeah, like it sounds like there's going to be problems built right in with the title. Like if you had America the President and then the Super King, like, wow, maybe we should, you know, maybe that position has too much.
But in Pakistan, I said this before, my friend Raji Rob told me, he says it's difference between India and Pakistan. In India, the prime minister controls the military. In Pakistan, traditionally, the military controls the prime minister. Is that a fair statement? And can you allude to also what Kurt was asking?
Well, absolutely. Both of you, Kurt and Pasta. Because 1947, August 14th, Pakistan got its independence. India got its independence August 15th, 1947. Now, because India was 7 times a larger country, and both Pakistan and India were fighting over this piece of land called Kashmir, right? Not the Led Zeppelin song Kashmir, but the actual place Kashmir. They fought 3 wars over Kashmir. Now, because of that, the Pakistani army said, look, in order to defend a much smaller country, you know, you need to give us more budget. So right from the beginning, they dwarfed the civilian government. In India, that never happened. But what happened over 75 years is that the Super King realized that these dummy civilians, they don't have any guns, they don't have any bombs. What are they going to say when you hold a gun to their head and said, I want this money? And they're going to say, yes, sir, take the money. So everybody played ball with them except for Imran Khan. And that's where he ran into trouble.
Yeah. I think Imran Khan, though, I remember he was being questioned about the military having so much power. He was trying to find balance there. Like, he understood the importance of the military, but I think he wanted, as a government for the first time, the government to control the military and kind of dictate what they're doing instead of the other way around. Salman, what were the charges exactly? Because we've seen this before in Brazil when they jailed Lula years ago so he couldn't run again. They're kind of doing the same thing in Argentina, where they've gotten charges on the vice president, Christine Anderson, so she can't run. They did the same thing to Imran Khan. I don't think this is so much about him getting people in the streets and causing problems, even though I'm very curious to hear what the charges are. This is about stopping Imran Khan from running again, because if Imran Khan gets the chance to run again, guess what? He will win more than likely and take power. So what are the claims by the government, the current puppet government there in Pakistan, against Imran Khan? and kind of tell us if they're kind of true or false and what your take on the whole situation is.
Well, Pastor, I need to just give you a quick
Go right ahead.
background context for this. So Imran Khan was toppled by his super king, General Bajwa, April 9th, 2022. Now that's happened to many civilian prime ministers in the past. And when they're toppled, they just go home. Nobody comes out. Nobody protests. For the first time in the history of Pakistan, the day he was toppled, the next day, millions of people came out on the streets. Millions of people came out on the streets because they said that, they love Imran Khan. The polls show him to have right now, 75% plus popularity. Okay? And what the people who are now have got 150 million smartphones, they knew that this was the same Groundhog's Day that they've been watching for so many years. And so they came out on the streets. Now the Super King got scared. They could never see so many women and youth out on the streets. So then he took the hammer out and multiple assassination attempts against Imran Khan. Yeah. One of them, I was with him in the helicopter, both engines failing, and miraculously, it made an emergency landing and we survived. November 3rd, he gets shot from 3 shooters.
Yeah. Four times in the legs. Yeah.
4 times in the leg. He miraculously survives. March 18th, another assassination attempt. Miraculously, he survives. And what happens is that they are now freaking out. They're like, we can't kill this guy. What can we do? So they build these 200. So in 16 months, in which Imran Khan won 30 out of 37 by-elections. These are like the midterm polls, kind of. Despite the rigging, one wins 30 out of 37. What they do is 200 cases against him of terrorism, blasphemy, murder, stealing. Now, this guy raises millions of dollars every year for this cancer hospital, and they're saying that he stole a watch. I mean, these charges are so... they're funny if they weren't so tragic. So right now they've got him in a in a death cell, 9x11, being physically and mentally tortured because they say that you stole a watch, and the judge didn't even allow him his defense witnesses. He writes the judgment in 30 minutes, 30 pages in 30 minutes, and then runs to England. And right now Imran Khan is in jail. Yeah.
He went to England, so they can't have him overturn it, I guess, right? So his decision has to stand, and he's gone. Logie, right? That Logie was the Logie. Yes. That's what I used to call you last time because that was the nickname that Imran Khan called you when they played cricket together, and they called him Logie. Logie, since this whole uprising's been taking place in Pakistan, where the people who are out there supporting the PTI, the government seems to be harassing members of the PTI. You guys hit lightning in the bottle the first time he was ousted. We talked about him getting shot 4 times. I don't know if you know this, Kurt. He got shot 4 times. He came out and I compared it to Walt Frazier from the New York Knicks when he tore his Achilles tendons and he hobbled on the court for Game 7 from when the Knicks beat the Lakers in the championship. But the crowd was crazy. The energy was nuts. I saw Imran Khan do the same thing, coming on out with the crutches, and the people were going crazy. You guys struck lightning in a bottle. With all this happening now today, but people being harassed, arrested, thrown in jail, can the PTI muster up another situation where they can get lightning in a bottle again, get people into the streets where they can get Minister Khan freed and have him run again and take back power? What are your thoughts on that?
So that's a great question. And I have to, in this, give you my personal story because that'll give you an answer in a way. So they knew that I'm very close to Imran Khan, okay? I got a tip off that they're looking to bump me off. So I had my band Junoon was performing in Toronto. So I went for that gig. But what they did while I was here in the States, one night in the 2 a.m., my sister's house, she's a U.S. citizen. My brother-in-law is a U.S. citizen. 9 guys wearing masks, all armed. They came in at 2 a.m., jumped over the wall, broke down the house doors, destroyed the furniture, dragged my brother-in-law and my sister out of their bedroom, and pointed 9 guns at them saying, "Where's Salman?" Right? And my sister, my sister suffers from, chronic inflammatory disease, lupus. And my brother-in-law is a hypertensive, and they'd never seen anything. They had got nothing to do with politics or Imran Khan. But they said, if you don't tell us where your brother is, we're going to take and torture and kill your husband. So they dragged my brother-in-law, 9 guys in a Vigo, which is black Vigo, threw him in a safe house, tortured him. I got a call at 5 a.m. where my sister said that if you don't do what they're saying, they're going to kill my husband. So I said, what do they want? They said, first of all, to renounce my support for Imran Khan, right? Number 2, delete. Now, what bugs them is social media, right? Which they've clamped down on all TV, radio, but they haven't been able to clamp down on social media, especially people who are outside of Pakistan, of Pakistani origin. So saying delete 16 tweets, which names the current super king, Asim Munir. Delete those tweets because they were critical, and my tweets are critical. I'm just the way that I'm sharing this information with you. And then make a video. And what was the video? To say that I condemn the violence of the 9th of May, right? Which I had nothing, I wasn't even in Pakistan. But I realized in order to save my brother-in-law's life, I agreed to delete those tweets, 16 tweets. But there's no way in hell I'm renouncing my support for Imran Khan. And I'm not giving you my Twitter password. That's what they asked also.
Yeah.
And I said, now release him. They didn't release him. So long story short, I got my people to work on them. And thankfully, my brother-in-law was released. But it was a nightmare to get him out. He was tortured. My family's out of Pakistan. My sisters, my brother-in-laws, they have all fled. But the ones who haven't been able to do that, tens of thousands are in jails, incarcerated, including women, children, tortured. So, there's US citizens of Pakistani origin who are in jail. This girl who's a fan of Imran Khan's, it was just there in the vicinity, they grabbed her. So my question to the Biden administration is that, and I've communicated this, that US citizens of Pakistani origin are being harassed, abducted, tortured, blackmailed. What is the US government doing for that?
Well, they're the ones who are behind the harassing, right? Because they want to make sure that they can, have their puppets in government. So who are our allies? And by the way, can the PTI, which is Imran Khan's party, with all this harassment, everything you're talking about right now, because we've had countless situations where we hear stories like this from people from the PTI, everyday citizens. We saw a big protest in London. How is the PTI going to push back against these crazy, these threats and whatnot, and get the courage to muster themselves to get in the streets? Can they do it again?
So, Pastor, I'll tell you that it's a revolution, but it's not. PTI doesn't have guns, bullets, tanks, and bombs. The other side does, right? So what Imran Khan, he kept saying to me, you got to fight everything legally, constitutionally, peaceful protest. Today, as we speak, his key legal representative, a guy by the name of Sher Afzal Marwat, who's a great lawyer, he wasn't allowed to meet Imran Khan in jail, right? And he threatened the cops, the police at the high security prison, that I'm going to the Supreme Court and say that you're not, following due process. You know what they did to him today? They abducted his brother-in-law, shot him in the head, killed his security. So this is it's just
crazy.
Law of the jungle.
Crazy.
Law of the jungle.
I don't know how you fight back. I don't know how, you said you got a lot of children and mothers in the streets last time, women and children, right? I don't know how you can get them in the street again when you see people getting murdered for just doing so. So I really hope they can. Are you fearful that what happened with Evo Morales in Bolivia when they had the coup over there to remove him and he didn't run, he kind of sat back and said, I don't want any violence, so he didn't run this last time. Do you fear that Imran Khan might take the same deal? Like, listen, drop my charges, let me out, I won't run, and I will let you guys just move on. I mean, because I think that there's a lot of people. This happened with Mossadegh in Iran when the CIA removed him. There was uprisings in the streets, but he wanted peace. I see Imran Khan, Minister Khan, kind of cut from that same cloth. Are you fearful that he might just take the deal and step aside and not agree to run?
So, Pastor, to know Imran Khan was one of the greatest ever sports, an athlete, cricketer. He won the World Cup for Pakistan in 1992, defeated England. He's a fair player and a competitor. He's the biggest humanitarian in the history of Pakistan. And as a politician, I want to communicate this to the US government and the people, is that this guy is not a duplicitous super king kind of person. Whatever he says, he does. If President Biden had spoken to him face to face when he came into power, he would have told him the same thing that he told President Trump. I can safeguard security for the West and the United States vis-a-vis Afghanistan, clamp down on terrorism. I can be a partner for peace between China and the United States. He's not anti-American. He's said this millions of times. You've been fed a bunch of bull from the super king and their acolytes. So right now, Imran Khan's life is in great danger. They could poison him. They won't even allow his wife to meet him. The wife can't meet him, family can't meet him, lawyers can't meet him. They can poison him. The US can do a good thing by weighing. That's the only thing that generals in Pakistan understand is power. And the US can say that Imran Khan is not to be harmed and that we should go to free, fair elections in October.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that's going to happen because I don't think the West wants him there. And I was hoping maybe that I would get a chance to go and observe those elections in Pakistan. I did say earlier in this segment that, unfortunately, it seems like Pakistan doesn't have many friends anymore, that they're somewhat becoming politically homeless with the rest of the world. I don't know how the relationship is with the kingdom anymore. I don't see MBS jumping in here and saying some stuff, free Imran Khan. Who are the allies right now for Pakistan when you look at the map?
Pasta. The allies. You gave me a chance to come and talk about this. So, but the fact is, we are talking to anybody who will listen in the international community. Yeah. We're saying this is a good man. He's a man of peace. Look, Imran Khan he's anti-war. And that's his biggest fault, is that he's anti-war, right? He created, during the COVID-19 pandemic, he created this, it's called the Asas program, where the majority of the people, this is in The Economist magazine, that Imran Khan handled the COVID-19 pandemic the best out of all of the world's countries. This guy's a humanitarian. He gives free treatment for cancer patients. And he loves, basically, people. There's not one country that he's anti-of. He says, I'm pro-Pakistan, but I'm not anti-anybody. Yeah. So right now is the time to raise your voices for him.
Logie, thank you so much for coming on today. Leave the audience with any message that you want as far as how we can help the situation in Pakistan and help with Imran Khan. I truly believe he's one of the great populist leaders out there, and just watching the people get in the streets for this guy, it makes you want to root for him. I always had a dream, and I know this is probably, I'm having a pipe dream, that if there was ever a chance for India and Pakistan to have some relationships, it would be these two people who were in there, because they're not the traditional people who've run these countries. Now, I know Narendra Modi, a lot of people might not be enthusiastic about him, but he does come from the poor, and they come from different places. But please, let everybody know what they can do to help, where they can find you, and all the other good information out there, buddy.
Yeah, so first off, Imran Khan, he has 75% popularity, not only in Pakistan, but the 10 million diaspora of Pakistanis, 99% support. If, God forbid, something happens to him in that jail and they poison him or they kill him, the country's going to destabilize. 250 million people with nuclear weapons. That's nobody wants. The US doesn't want that. Europe doesn't want that. India doesn't want that. China doesn't want that. He's the one guy who can bring the country together in peace. And by the way, in the last 16 months, what has it been his tactic? Elections. protest, peaceful protest. 30 out of 37 elections he's won. So free, fair elections in Pakistan are the most crucial thing. The more you allow the super king to remain, who's a psychopath, by the way, the new guy, he's a psychopath. He's the one who ordered my brother-in-law and 10,000 other people to be abducted and tortured. He's a psychopath. His name is Asim Munir. And one other thing I want to tell you is he's after U.S. citizens of Pakistani origin like myself to shut us down in any way any way he can. So we're all in danger. You can't trust him. Imran Khan is the guy you want.
Logie, thank you so much for coming on the show, my friend. Go with peace, and let's speak again soon. Keep me informed on everything that's going on. You have that direct line, and I appreciate you come on and educating the audience today.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Salman Ahmad there, guys. Rock and Roll Jihad. Check him out. He's got a Twitter. Got a lot of followers over there.
Come see our live shows. We're going to be in Chicago, Rosemont, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, New York City, Pottstown, Pennsylvania, Stamford, Toronto, Toledo, Detroit, St. Louis, and more. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for those tickets.